And welcome, everybody, whether you're watching this live or the recording. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to another soulful conversation with another soulful hero. I am so delighted to share with you my dear friend, Dulce, uh, wellness chef and coach. I'm so happy to have you here, Dulce. And I forgot to say your last name, Dulce Jimenez.
Mhm. Hi, Christian. Thank you so much for calling me again. I always answer your calls. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you and see your face again.
It's been a while. It's been a while. This pandemic has not been a fun thing, has it?
No, it hasn't. But I really think I have gotten the best out of it. I try
Yeah.
to go around and get the best.
Yeah, for me too. I mean, for me, without minimizing the pain of it and all the destruction at so many levels, for me, it's been a blessing. Um, but anyway, I wanted, you're one of my favorite stories of somebody who knew her passion, was connected with her passion, and yet felt stuck in a very comfortable corporate job with a multinational. So, would you share a little bit of that story of how you were able to finally transition from the job and the corporate environment to where you were able to follow your passion and follow your dream?
Yes, Christian, as you said, I was in corporation for 27 years. I was very comfortable with that paycheck and pay vacations. And I didn't realize how unhappy I was and how sick I was until obviously I got all these diagnostics of different chronic diseases that I know now that could have been prevented. And so I started to do a little bit of transformation within working in a corporation. I started to lose weight, like everybody, let me try to do this. And I tried different methods and different diets. But I wasn't seeing myself in a holistic way. I was just targeting to lose weight, but I was still have all these issues in other areas in my life that I wasn't paying attention to. It wasn't until my sister passed away, which I said this is usually something as big as that, like a pandemic that will like shake you to the core and
Hmm.
make you like snap out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is exactly what happened to me. And I said, what am I doing here? Yes, I lost the weight and in that area and feeling better, but I wasn't living my purpose. I felt that I was renting my life. And I see that I was having a lot of headaches and losing my hair. So yes, I have lost the weight. I have corrected a few things in my life, but I was still not happy. And I know you love this. It was different things that I did, and I started to look deeper in my soul, in myself. And one of the things that I did was your breath work sessions and your retreats, and start allowing people to see me, which is very difficult. Like I have been doing this for now for a few years, and I'm still like shaking today by doing this live. So bear with me.
No,
So
you're doing
yeah,
great. And by the way, I love that concept of renting your life. That's a beautiful way to look at it.
yes, that's the way I think a lot of people are living. I'm gonna rent you my life until I'm 60, 65, and
Yes.
then I'm gonna try to live with the pieces that are left of me.
So let's go to that moment because I love the story of when you're in the middle of a breathwork session. You had this realization, this revelation.
Yes, my experience that day was very, very, very physical. I have never had that physical experience in breath work. I was being cooked. It's funny because metaphor, I'm a chef.
Mhm.
I was being cooked and I was made into a meatball. Like I was completely transformed. And obviously now I see it in a different lens, right? Now, after years of that and seeing my own transformation and my metamorphosis in this completely different person that before that breathwork session. And that's what exactly what was happening in that breathwork session. I was being cooked and I was becoming a piece of meat that was cooked in a sauce, a boiling sauce, and my entire body was sweating and shaking, and I felt your hand and other people coming and soothing me through that process. It was painful. And at the end that I was cooked, I think I was going to be serving a table.
Yeah.
Serve for someone to eat. To I
Yes.
don't know, to enjoy me. I don't know what was happening there. I never got to that point. What happened with the meatball? I woke up in a beautiful like mountain, and I was a little girl. I was held, my hand was held by Jesus Christ. I am not a devoted Christian. I want to say that. Of course, I come from my growing up with my mother and my grandmother who was Catholic, and but we were never, even my mother was never devoted of Jesus Christ. Um, and he was talking to me, but not talking, like it was telepathic. He was telling me, I always, when I tell that story, my entire body shakes. He was telling me that I was safe and that I was going to be held whatever path I was taking. And wow, it was like suddenly I was reborn
Hmm.
in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, I started to see, okay, how am I going to do this? Because I know what is it that I have to do. I need to live this life that I have chosen up to here, which has served me well because I
Yeah.
was able
Exactly.
to raise my daughter. I was able to buy a property and travel. I am very grateful for those opportunities
Without a doubt.
and for that life experience. It's not like, yes, I'm I'm sick because of you. No, on the contrary.
Yeah. It was a comfortable job. You enjoyed what you did.
Yes, yes, but it was time.
Yes.
It
You
was
weren't
time.
you weren't following your real soul level, mission level work. And so that was the reason for your unhappiness. It was a gilded prison. You got good money, um, good job environment in a multinational corporation, but inside you weren't. It wasn't enough.
Yeah. And after that, it has been a journey. It has been an exciting journey.
We'll talk about what the notice that you got, because that's one of I love, that's of course the story that you
Oh,
just told
yes.
is my favorite story. But and it's interesting to me how spirit speaks to us in a language that we resonate with. So in your case, it was a meatball, it was food. And so right after you had this realization in the breathwork session, and you got clear about what you needed to do, what happened then in real life?
Yeah, I love that you remind me that. Um, so I started to, okay, I call friends. What am I going to do? Do I going to put a name? Let me pause here. I had a culinary arts degree already,
That's right.
but I never worked as a chef because I did try it for a few years and the money wasn't good. It was a lot of work. It's like, I didn't know how to do it better. Okay? I was not open to different possibilities than being in a restaurant working for somebody else. I
That's
didn't
right.
know how to do it. So there was two ways I knew how to do it. Working in a restaurant for $10 an hour, which as a chef after having a culinary arts degree from a university, Johnson and Wales. I went to work at $10 an hour, or
Mm-mm.
having a catering. So I tried those things. I was doing catering, and it was, oh my God, I hate this. What am I going to do? Okay, I know it's something related to cooking, because at that point I have transformed my own health and my weight, right? So, but and I've been always passionate about food, and I was seeing my grandmother feeding us with so much love. Like, if my grandmother used to, you were sick, she will give you a tea and you were cured. Like, her love in the food, and seeing her, doing everything from scratch. I grew up with that. And when I was doing that transformation with my health, I connected more with the food and the plants and all the learnings that I had, stuck in somewhere
Yeah,
back. My
yeah.
my mom teach me about macrobiotics, and a friend of mine teach me about Ayurvedic, and I was in that world already. But
My image of your grandma was like not only like she was a good cook, but she was like a medicine woman. Like like
yes,
she knew about herbs and the benefits and all that kind of stuff.
yes, yes. I I share a remedy to my pregnant students now, of something that she used to give us. That's another conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, so I knew that was the path. So
Yeah, and take us to that moment, because what I love about your story is that you got clear and you said yes at a soul level. You said yes, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to take the step, and then the universe responds. So go
yes,
ahead.
yes. So I sat down with my beloved partner, and I said, look, I'm going to take a year, a sabbatical. I'm going to prepare for a year, and then I'm going to take a sabbatical year. So my plan was about 2 years. Very slowly. I know you're holding me, Jesus Christ. I trust you, but I need to have some money in the bank,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So and I love that, saying yes to a soul level. And but I'm going to get this. So I started to do my website and find the name. It was Dulce Aromas from my kitchen. That was the first name of my company. And I created some business card. And in the middle of that process, I also became a health coach. And I was talking a little bit with people in my company, and doing some things on the side on the weekend. And not long enough, my company had a huge um, transformation and reorganization. And they called me and said, well, we're going to let all the executive, I was an executive assistant, very high level position. And we're going to let all the executive assistant go. And we were like 12, and we were only going to keep two. We would love you to apply, but you have two options. You apply for one of those positions, and or we're going to give you a year of pay and benefits for your services. I was there for almost 11 years. And when she told me, and I remember the HR person was a very good friend of mine, we were working together for so long. I said, I don't have to think about it, because at that moment, I had that image
Mm.
of me being held. And she was like, no. I want you to think about it. Have a few days. Don't answer me. I'm like, I don't have to answer. Are you kidding me? You're giving me 1 year? What I was thinking was to do exactly the same thing. And oh
Yeah.
my God, I get chills.
No, it's amazing. It's such a powerful, magical story, and but you made the choice first, right? That's what's so important. It's that image that I have is of Indiana Jones standing at the end of the cliff, at the edge of the cliff, and the chalices are on the other side of the endless chasm, and it's not until he realizes that he has to step into the void, into the nothingness,
Yes.
and which is what you did. You said, yes, I will do this. And then the universe shows up and the bridge showed up and to meet your foot and said, okay, here's how you can do this. You get a year of salary and benefits. Like, wow.
Oh my God, it's incredible, Christian, because if she would have gave me that proposal a year before, just a year before, because that happened in less than a year when I made that, when I had that experience, when I made that choice, I would have said, of course I will apply for that two positions. Of course, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to survive. But I was in peace. And
Yes.
then when it presented in front of me, I was so clear. And
Yeah, and I
that is
think
a
that
big
the
difference.
touching part, I think that the part that still moves you and that moves me is the, because we don't have words to like we land on words like miracles and magic, because we lack the language for this kind of, once we step out of the limited perspective of the ego mind and we step into the reality of who we really are, then all sorts of amazing things happen, and we are held and we are supported. um, and I think that's a part that is so beautiful to me, and that is so moving about your story.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So let me flash forward now, because I want to be able to bring talk about what you're doing now. And I know that you're transitioning, that you're still doing the personal chef and that kind of stuff, and you do that in a beautiful way. And I want to say too that you have cooked at many of my retreats and events, and people inevitably are just so fall in love with you and with your food, because that beautiful and that heart, that big heart that you have, shows up in your food and the way that you relate to food. So talk a little bit about that, about your relationship with food, and how you're transitioning now to do a little bit more coaching, wellness coaching.
Yes, yes. Wow. Is I love having these conversations with you because I don't every day remember that story, and it's very powerful. And I think you always call me in the moments that I need to remember this and live it, because as you said, I'm in a transition now, another one. And I believe that we're never the same. Every day we're changing and transforming our own body. The nature of our body is a constant transformation. And that's how I live my life. Uh, I'm not the same one as 2 years ago. I'm not the same one as that moment. But the pandemic also did a huge change
Right.
in all of us, a transformation. So before the pandemic, with um, I was cooking for 5 or 6 clients. So I was kind of doing the same thing in my corporate job. I was killing myself. I was obviously in my passion, cooking plant forward meals, helping individuals that were going through remission of an illness or preventing illness. So I was doing that. I had my assistant, I had my company settled. I was being able to live by my own means, and I was supporting myself. So what happened is that I was starting to feel all the pains and aches of, you know, I was previously, when I was in my corporation, I was living in automatic again,
Mm,
cooking and doing
interesting.
that. So COVID came, and I have to cancel all my clients. Christian, all my clients, like,
Wow.
okay,
And
now what?
is it safe to say that you were taking care of others but not taking care of yourself so much?
Yes,
Mm, mm,
yes,
interesting.
completely. Because when my sister passed away, that I was in this process of finding my purpose. I said, like, I'm gonna help everybody because it's like I'm helping my sister. I couldn't help her. I couldn't hold her hand. I was working in a corporation. Now I'm going to do this for everybody. But I
Right.
wasn't doing it not for myself, not for my own family, right? I
It's
was
like almost
working.
you got too busy with your clients that you started neglecting yourself.
Yes.
So it's like that tripod of service, service, one of the legs, service to humanity, service to the sacred. The second one, service to others. Um, and okay, so first one, service to humanity. Second, service to the divine. Second, service to humanity at this level. The third one is service to self, which is the one that most service oriented people neglect. And so that's, if that's not in place, then the other two can't work, can't function. And it sounds to me like that's what was happening.
Yes. Because now that you said that, something came to mind. When I was held by Jesus Christ, at that moment, I interpreted um, financially, you're going to be me, you're going to help me. And every time I'm going through any transition, any change, you're going to be there. But now I see like more spiritual, like come to me and everything is going to be well. And I wasn't doing that.
Mm,
And I am in this process now,
mm,
more calm. Like, let's go over the pandemic. So when I have to cancel all these clients and do that, I had time to take care of myself again and transform my company. So what am I going to do? So opportunities presented. I was called to be the health coach for Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies, which is a nonprofit organization here in Broward. That the sole purpose is to help um, pregnant women to have a healthy pregnancy, to deliver healthy babies, to
mm,
prevent infant mortality, diabetes, and hypertension in low income communities, and at risk communities. And I said, wow, how powerful. Because me, myself, when I was pregnant, I went through an illness, and my baby had consequences because of that, and my food intake and all that. So I took another certification just to teach pregnant women and people that want to be pregnant as well. And that opened up different doors for me at that time. And I started to create programs and working with them. So uh,
it's beautiful. I love that. I love that, by the way. And are you also taking private clients now for wellness coaching?
yes, yes. So what happened is that I realized that, whoa, there is another way for me serving people than me being in the kitchen slaving, because the kitchen is hard. You get to
Mhm.
have some skills to be able to cook 90% of your meals at home with whole ingredients,
Mm,
and step away from opening a package, opening a can, opening a frozen food and put it in the microwave. It takes some skills. And it's like, okay, whoa, there's a big need in there. Not
yeah,
everybody can afford a personal chef. It's
that's
not
right.
an inexpensive service. So
That's
my
right.
pool of people was very limited. Also, I am only one.
That's right.
So
So
from the
this way you can
pandemic,
reach a lot more people and make a difference in a lot more lives.
yes, yes,
Are you still doing online classes teaching people how to cook and how to
yes.
set up their own
So
kitchens?
so yes, thank you, Christian. So I am teaching still with Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. We have Moms for Wellness program there, and I have different programs. I have a diabetic program, a diabetic transformation program, planned forward transformation program, and what I what I never had was someone to go with me in this journey. I did a lot of modalities, and I did a lot of training and read a lot, and a lot of trial and error. So when someone is diagnosed with an illness, you go to the doctor's office and they give you a page, which that happened to my daughter when she got gestational diabetes in her last pregnancy. She went to the doctor and they gave her a paper. You couldn't even read the diet. And the diet was Cheerios and margarine and artificial sweeteners. I was like,
Mm.
oh my goodness, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. And the best way for me to do it is teaching.
I love it. I love it. And you're
Teaching.
so good. You do it so
And
naturally. And
yes, and
let me ask you something, because to clarify for people, because you've mentioned it a couple of times. How is plant forward different from vegetarian or vegan diet?
okay, is more inclusive. It cares for the environment as well. So plant forward is putting the plants forward in your diet, in your cooking, right? Let me turn off my phone, excuse me. But is inclusive of some animal proteins.
Hmm.
No, I believe in inclusiveness. There's a lot of studies and a lot of doctors and research that I follow that says that we need some of the nutrients from certain, fish and maybe the eggs and certain things. And I did try raw vegan. I tried vegan, and I wasn't feeling at my best. So I believe the body, and I have known through my studies and my research and all that, the body is an ecosystem. And there is a lot of things going on. We get to learn really and know our body and what is best for you. There's
Exactly.
no one magic diet, the Mediterranean diet, the keto diet. No, it's your diet. What
Yeah,
is good for you?
exactly. I was vegetarian for 11 years. I never gave up cheese and eggs. In fact, I would crave eggs all the time. And then, like 11 years later, I reintroduced fish. I still had the craving for eggs. And then, like a few years after that, I reintroduced chicken. And then that craving went away. Like, I still love eggs and I eat eggs, but I don't crave them like I used to. So I think you're so right about not, just having flexibility and getting in touch with our own bodies and what our own bodies need. And so that it doesn't take a stranger that looked up the palm of my hand and I don't know what she saw, but she said, "You're not getting enough protein." Um,
Yes.
so, I mean, I love this conversation, and I know that you and I could continue talking for a long time. We're intentionally keeping these short. So, we're gonna make sure that people have a way to reach you. Like their website is your website is right on the screen. Is there anything in your heart that you want to make sure that you say, both either about food and 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 that process of connecting with the body and your coaching, or specifically about trusting the process? Anything along those lines?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Christian, for this opportunity. And yes, um, don't let others manage your health and your life.
Good.
I have at least 2 calls a month of friends and clients. I was diagnosed this. I went to the doctor and they told me that I'm borderline diabetic. And when I ask questions, okay, um, did they check your A1C? What is that? I don't know. They leave the doctor's office so confused, and that will take your power away. When you
Mm.
go to a doctor's office and they give you your diagnosis and they, okay, go, but what can I eat? What can I do? So, okay, start taking this pill. It's taking your power away,
Yes.
and don't let that. A diagnosis is not a sentence of your life. Um, Connect to yourself and see yourself as a whole. Three things that I'm going to leave you in. If there's something that you can take from this, is
Good.
do an inventory of the four pillars of health. This is one of the things that I teach. Your lifestyle, the choices that you're making every day. Where you living, where you working, with whom are you spending your time? Exercise, how you moving, even where do you park? Are you always trying to park in the front, or looking for the last parking so you can walk? The way your posture is, so your movement, your attitude. Make an inventory of that. Are you always complaining, or are you grateful of your surroundings, or whatever it is? You see it as an opportunity. You see the glass full, or or the glass empty. And your nutrition. So when you make an inventory of that, I call it lean: lifestyle, exercise, attitude, and nutrition. Those are the four pillars of health that when you are in balance and pay attention to them, you create health in your life and abundance and wellness, right? When you ignore them, one or two, like I did it when I was in the corporation, and then I did it again when I was working with my clients full time. When I ignored those pillars, I started feeling unbalanced and illness come to my way. And that's what I wanted to leave you on. I am here to support um, anyone and my community, my friends and my family. Um, but I can only take your hand, tell you, I am here, let's do this. But it's your power, your commitment to yourself that is going to make anything happen in your life.
I love that. And tell us again, lean, what does it stand for?
Lean starts for lifestyle, exercise, attitude, and nutrition.
Beautiful.
How you
Beautiful.
live, how you move, how you think, and how you eat.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your love and your wisdom and everything that you've learned about approaching the body in a holistic way, Dulce. I can't wait to be able to taste some of your food again. It's been too long. And I guess we should also acknowledge that the famous mango tres leches was named after me. That that is,
I
or it should have
know.
been named after me.
Soulful mango tres leche. Wow, I haven't done one in a while.
I love that. Anyway, thank you so much. Thanks for your time again, and much love, many blessings. Thank you everybody for watching, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Christian. I love you.
Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye.